to fill it in is about the last thing I want to do. That's just asking for trouble. So yeah, that's not going to do. So it's a 2-0 golden edge from Grumbacher, and if I were working with acrylic and trying to draw, or even with ink, and trying to draw some fine lines, that would be a really good brush for it. So I'm going to reserve that and go from the 00 to a 0, and I'm going to see how well this tip works. Yeah, that looks better, but now I've got my concerns that it might be too fat for the really fine areas. And that's part of the fun of working in really tiny spaces with tiny spaces that were created by tiny pins. Is that, yeah, you can easily find yourself in a spot to where you're saying that a 0 brush is actually too fat for what it is that you want to do. But it does seem really good for the vines. Excuse me, you might see me going after my mustache or my nose a little bit. It's not that I've gotten a sudden fixation, it's just it's allergy season here. And I've been good this morning, but must have gotten with the dogs going in and out, they must be carrying in some pollen or something, because my nose is starting to tickle pretty bad. Alright. A creepy old dude on the internet. I'm sorry, I'm not even sure what to make of that. The hell, creepy old man on the internet. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to draw more Spider the Mans with their Spider the Man sense tingling. I actually grew up like most kids wanting to draw comics. I never had the attention span to the dedication, I guess you could say, to draw more than a couple of panels at a time. I could never really draw a full page.
I'm KFC's extra crispy colonel. You're the extra busy regular person who has to make dinner for a family of 4. You can shirk that responsibility because my extra crispy $20 fillet from KFC contains 8 pieces of freshly double-breaded extra crispy chicken, 4 biscuits, 2 orders of mashed potatoes, and a side of coleslaw for just $20. That'll feed it. KFC, it's extra crispy good.
Pricing and participation may vary. Tax and substitutions extra. You're at Lowe's buying a new washer and dryer. You're at Lowe's buying a new washer and dryer because your kids are growing. And because your kids
I'm really going to need to get a Spotify subscription.
But your old washer and dryer are not. Luckily, Lowe's has free local delivery on appliances $396 or more, plus a 30-day satisfaction guarantee on all new major appliances. All projects have a starting point. Start
Hey guys, let's go buy appliances.
Refund and price match policies. More fees may apply. U.S. only. See store for details.
Smart businesses need to grow their team. They do it on the site proven
Oh, come on, guys.
Indeed.com. According to an independent study, Indeed delivers 5 times more hires than any other job site. More hires than the rest combined. And right now we're giving new users a $50 credit to post a sponsored job, boosting your listing and relevant search results. Claim your $50 credit at Indeed.com/promo. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
So, believe it or not, after a week of working 9 to 5, and doing art at least a little bit every night, trying to around what needs to be done for the house. I actually do look forward to the weekends where I can sit down and work for a couple of hours at a stretch and take care of things that I can't just stop on a dime with so much. I mean, if I were just to lay down another section of gold and take a break, that's fine. But like, even at this point right now, if the house elf needed me for something, if I stepped up and got away, it would only be for a couple of minutes because the adhesive would dry up a bit much. And even in reawakening it by breathing on it, if I'm gone for too long and it dries a bit too much, I'll never get the gold on it just right, and I'll have to do a lot of repair or end up just painting in a lot of adhesive all over again. I'm not sure any of that actually made a complete sentence or expressed a complete thought, but basically it's nice to be able to sit down for a couple of hours knowing that I'm not going to be interrupted on a weekend, and I can just get some good progress made on this. Well, talking while doing this is kind of a new thing. Normally I get the headphones on and just fall into my zone. But yesterday, talking while I was doing this, it actually made a noticeable difference on the amount of time it took me to do it. But today, I'm working at more of what I'd call a normal speed, so that's good. I feel like freaking Bob Ross of Gold Leaf. Okay. hope y'all can hear me talking under my breath there. Or maybe you're better off not. But if you find that you need me to talk up, or just even if you want to ask a question, just pop something into the chat. Periodically looking up to take care of anything that you might have posted, such as creepy old dude on the internet's request. Which again, no, I'm not going to do, but thanks for the laugh. Alright, we'll make it around the bend right here and I'll put the gold on before it gets too dry where I started. Now, if I remember correctly, the little moth in the corner right here was almost accidental. I drew it before the spider, but I ended up filling in with the dots. I had the little border drawn in with the leafing, and I started filling things in, and it left a triangular space, and it just occurred to me that it would be nicer if a thing was there than if it was simply the black speckled fill that I put everywhere else. So with it being the shape of a triangle, I ended up turning it into what I think is one of the nicer little moths that I've ever drawn. For that scale anyway. The trick with drawing tiny things is knowing what detail not to put in there, but how to suggest it with as few lines as possible. I'm still kind of ham-fisted in that I try putting in too much detail at times, but I really like the moth simply because I indicated with a minimum of dots, I feel, what this little moth was about. Alright, so brush goes in the water, cap goes back on the adhesive. Get the tube again, and breathe over the adhesive from deep at the bottom of the lungs in order to bring up a nice wet breath. And it reopens the adhesive and makes it sticky again for the gold. It shouldn't take much. I've actually tried to... I just got a new follower. Thanks, Artist Caustic TV. Appreciate it. So I've actually tried doing like an entire page once. I was just very, very impatient. And I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and put the glue in everywhere. And we're going to see how well you can reopen this. And it probably took about 30 minutes to, alright, so brush the cheek, get the oil or the static, whatever. And then we pick up a fresh leaf. And we'll pull it out and float it over and set it onto the area with the adhesive. Too heavy a brush on the cheek and you'll get gold stuck to the to the brush.